So, Antonio, you were the cinematographer on Queen Sugar, which is just getting ready to come back for its second season. Take us back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about the show and what initially attracted you to it and made you want to shoot it.
Two words, Ava DuVernay. I hadn't shot a TV series before. I had only shot films. I had shot a TV movie, but my career has been in feature films. But Ava DuVernay called me. She talked to me about the Queen Sugar project. She sent me the script for episode 1 and episode 2. And I loved it. The work of Ava DuVernay, and I really liked the story of the Borderlands. So,
well, tell us a little bit about the show and about the story of it, and then what your visual approach to it was.
Let's see. We wanted to do a series. We really wanted to tell this story in a very visual, rich style. Ava DuVernay came from the feature film world, and interesting enough, she surrounded herself of collaborators that came from the feature film universe. She wasn't concerned about me not having experience in TV. She wanted like film. And that was our first to make this story look really rich, really cinematic, with very intentional compositions and not relying on the traditional style of traditional shots, lots of coverage, lots of over-the-shoulder medium shots. So that was our initial approach. Is like mentioning the story, the locations, and make it look very cinematic.
Well, like you said, you come from the world of feature films, and you've done a lot of independent features, as has Miss DuVernay. I wonder, I mean, since television kind of operates on a similar kind of, it's short schedule, low budget, did that help prepare you at all for shooting in television, or was there much of a difference there?
I came to the job a bit concerned about what I was going to find, how shooting this television series was going to mean in terms of my work, if I was going to have to compromise or change my usual approach. But to my relief, actually shooting episode 1 and 2 with the director wasn't that different of shooting an independent film. The way we approach the work, the way we prepare for it, and even the way that we shot it with 2 cameras was like, it was really scene by scene, shot by shot, doing our best at telling the story through the shots. Ava was in charge. There was not interference from anybody. Really, it was total freedom and really an environment that I felt totally familiar with.
We'll talk a little bit more about what your collaboration with her is like. I mean, how you guys prepared for this and what the interaction was like on set. I mean, what was that like between the two of you?
Well, one very important aspect was defining the look of the series, and that was before we started shooting. We shot some tests here in New Orleans, and then we took them to Los Angeles to photocam, and we developed what will be the look of the series through a lookup table that has been that special look of Queen Sugar. That was like the first step in our collaboration. Then we prepared the episode 1 and 2, which we shot together, very much like a movie. And our collaboration was, you know, a director DP like in a movie. I tried to infuse my ideas into her approach, and at the same time try to understand what was in her mind to bring this whole universe of Queen Sugar. That when she was the director, it was in its infancy, and after she left, after we shot episode 1 and 2 other directors came in, and I was then in charge to continue developing that style that I established with her, even taking it further and it and refine it. And in this second season, Eva hasn't directed yet any episode, but she is still involved, and we started where we left on episode 1, and I would say season 1, and I would say season 2 more Queen Sugar than season 1 in the terms of look of it.
Mm-hmm. And so much of the show's visual beauty comes from the environment that it's set in. Can you talk a little bit about how you and Ava DuVernay used the setting of this show and the environment to kind of enhance that visual beauty?
Yeah, location is so important in this show. I'm so grateful we get to shoot this in Louisiana. Really, we have the elements to capture, to bring the atmosphere of the places. I have always been very influenced by the locations where I have shot my movies, and this is no different. Things that shape my work the most. One is the script, and 2 is the locations. The shooting in Louisiana has a lot of challenges because the weather is really unpredictable, and especially now it gets really hot and really stormy. But all those challenges, it gives you the reward of really interesting looks. And of course, the main location is Ernest's farm. And it's just really great to be able to be surrounded by sugarcane in a real farm, in real places. It adds a lot of authenticity to the story, I think.
And I mean, if you could think about, excuse me, a specific moment from an episode, if you can remember that far back from all 13 that you shot, a shot that you would say, you know, that's indicative of the best work that we did on this season, what would that be?
I think the most memorable moments are in episode 1 of season 1. There is that one scene when and Rafael are talking about the farm, and we have these big scope shots of the farm, and on a crane shot that show us the infinite depth of the rows of Queen Sugar. That's one of my favorite shots. My favorite moment, though, my favorite scene is Archangel finally accepts to take Blue to meet Ernest at the hospital and get together in that hospital room. Such a simple setting, but it was so beautiful, so emotional, and we were able to do really beautiful shots with Archangel and Blue. Such great performances. Every time I see that scene.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm just remembering it now. It's really, really beautiful, and I mean, kind of indicative of the ways in which television has, the quality of television, not just storytelling-wise, but also visually, has improved over the last couple of years. I mean, is it exciting for you to be working in that kind of medium where it's the lines are kind of blurring now between that and feature films?
It is great because so many people, so much of the audience that now watch TV was the audience that used to watch independent films. So many of the craftsmen that are working on television now used to work in independent films, that there is a huge independent films in television now. And I'm so grateful I can do television and do my best. I can for excellence and for beauty, and is so respected, and because it's not just television, it's something else now, and I think it is evolving, and it's really exciting to be part of this evolution of television, where television feels and looks more like film.
Mm-hmm. And to also be able to, since you shot all 13 of these episodes, that you're able to tell a story over 13 hours as opposed to 2, and to, as you said, develop the style over the course of many episodes. I mean, what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, that was the fascinating part of this. It's to be able to live for so long with the same story, and to be able to refine, and every time we come back to the same location, just learn the lessons from the previous times and do it differently and do it better and do it more interesting. It's very rich an experience, because after months and months of working together, the relationship with the cast and with the actors become like family. And it's something I haven't experienced before shooting films. It really feels like family here.
Now, you're currently shooting season 2, is that right?
Yes.
Can you give us any...
For season 2, something has changed, which is now we are 2 directors of photography, shooting alternating episodes. So season 1 was all mine. It's 2 of us. So while one shoots, the other one can be preparing the next episode. Last year I couldn't do. I had to be preparing and shooting at the same time.
Okay. Well, can you give us any indication of what we might be able to expect from season 2, or I guess is that still under wraps?
In season 2 has a lot in common with season 1. The story progresses in very dramatic ways. In terms of the look, like the conversation with Ava was, if there is one thing, she said, I was really happy with season 1 was the look. So let's continue. So we continued, but we just take more liberties. We just push it. We push the limits of the look of Queen Sugar more and more as we go. So I hope the identity is there, and the audience gets look of it, and they turn on the TV or turn on their computers, and images stick to their minds.
Well, I certainly look forward to seeing more of it. Antonio, thank you so much, and congratulations on your work on Queen Sugar.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good